County Commissioner Ken Doherty.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
How you doing?
Doing well, sir.
Now this is it's been a long road for you.
Oh,
really?
About 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you were on the original county charter commission.
Yeah, back in when I left the county in '84, it was at the end of that year. The Board of County Commissioners decided to establish the first Home Rule Charter Commission, and I was vice chairman of that. Mike McKinley was chairman. I don't know how many folks are still with us, that served back then. And yeah, part of the original Home Rule Charter Commission. And as a matter of fact, I was just last week, April 1st was my 40th anniversary when I moved to Punta Gorda from New Hampshire. Yeah, came down about a year after I graduated from University of New Hampshire. So it's been 40 years, Ken, and really a tremendous number of changes. I would never have imagined 40 years ago I'd be in the position I've got today.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wonderful. I was just thinking about that. Last time I saw you actually was the debate over at the old courthouse when you hosted that, and appreciated that evening. And it's good to be back with you tonight.
And speaking of the charter, you were also part of the charter review board.
Every 6 years.
Every 6 years.
Yeah.
And some changes in the charter the last time it went up for review.
Yeah.
How, and now serving as county commissioner, do you appreciate those changes more, or do you think maybe next time we come up for review we can rescind some of this stuff?
I think that's just a great question. Yeah, I now get to live with some of those things that I was inside the organization. Maybe the listeners don't know, I was back in the late 70s, early 80s. I was the county engineer and assistant county administrator for Charlotte County. Then I went into the private sector for 26 years, and then 2010 I retired from civil engineering, and yeah, I served, though, like you said, all those years on the charter, and looking at our basic local constitution. And it's interesting to see, because when I worked for the county it was pre-charter, and to see now how
you guys just ran roughshod over everyone back then.
Well, the county commission had a lot of flexibility back in those days. And I tell a little story. I can remember just before I went to work for the county, the kind of the drill during the rainy season was the individual, the supervisor of maintenance and operations, the road and bridge department, on Monday mornings would call up to the courthouse to find out where the troops needed to go. And that's obviously not a very efficient way to run the organization. So, but it's it's interesting to see what has transpired over the last 30 years with the charter, and how the organization now functions. I think that one of the biggest aspects of the job now as a commissioner that I knew about for years, the Sunshine Law. We had to deal with it, but it's an everyday situation now for the commission. We can't, and we're really pushing hard. I think you've noticed that, probably the community has, that we're really trying to reach out to the taxpayers, and we have community feedback meetings. Started, actually, Commissioner Deutsch, I believe, initiated the concept, taking what Commissioner Starr had as far as his kitchen cabinet meetings, and we've transitioned to call it now a community feedback. I think it's the third Monday, about 5:30 at the 119 meeting room. And generally, there's at least 3 of us there. And, of course, with the sunshine, if there's 2 of us present, we can simply have someone there to take minutes. If there's 3 of us there, it's effectively a county commission meeting, because it's a majority of the board. So the clerk has to have a person there recording, and we do it that way. But I think it's well worth it. It gives a more relaxed atmosphere for the public. We can have a dialogue. It's a good exchange of their concerns, and I think that's one of the things I'm most encouraged about with the new board. We're really, as a group, working well together. I think stability has been restored. There was a period of time it was a little rough.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. And I think overall the organization is encouraged about it's kind of a professional atmosphere around the building now. Right. So it's interesting for them. They've never had to had a civil engineer on the Board of County Commissioners, so engineers have a tendency to dig deeply into the details and ask a lot of questions, and I think that's going to serve the taxpayers well.
Excellent. Well, we'll be back.